So let me ask you, are you struggling with even the idea of selling your home? Or perhaps you're looking to buy your dream home, but you're not sure where to begin? If so, I want to share with you my 7-step.
Here we go. It's the Pittsburgh property diva, Lauren Klein, 412-628-8286. You want to call her directly, but I'm just telling you right now, in the weeks to come, the spring market upon us, these phones are going to be jammed. So today, if you have a question about putting that home on the market, inventory is looking good, very busy time of year. We're going to be talking estates, power of attorney when it comes to real estate, appraisals. And Andy Amra, Mr. True Value, in this very studio, long before he hits the airwaves with his program in the 10 o'clock hour, we're going to be talking about home improvements on a budget. All good, all hour. Pittsburgh property diva, Lauren Klein, Coldwell Banker, Murraysville. So if you have a question, now would be a perfect time to get on the line. And Ashley Funyak, our producer, will get you ready to get on the air with Lauren, of course, and right now her husband is at her side. This is being streamed live on Facebook, PittsburghPropertyDiva.com. He, of course, from Pittsburgh Beautiful. The number again here, 866-391-1020. Dollar Bank Instant Access, KDKRadio.com. You can text us on the right automotive line, best deal in town. Busy, busy, busy. Good morning and welcome back.
It's been a busy season. I've been busy since the first of the year, and I'm always like blessed and grateful and overwhelmed by my clients and their loyalty and their sweetness. I just had a closing yesterday with the young family. I sold them their first house when they were newly married about 5 years ago, and since then they've had 2 babies and made some improvements on their home and are, we're looking for their next big purchase. And we found that home, and we closed on it yesterday. So it's been a nice, busy week, and it's been a few weeks since I've been here, so I have all sorts of stuff to talk about. And other than that closing that I had yesterday, I've been on lots of listing appointments.
Is that why you were like dancing into the studio today? You were so happy.
Oh my goodness, it's just been crazy.
Does it feel the same every time you slam the deal shut for the people?
Yes, even after all these years, and I don't know how many transactions, a lot. I still get super excited for people when they're, everybody moves for a different reason, and I like when it's a happy reason.
Yeah.
It's not always happy, but I try and make it as pleasant as I possibly can on my end of
Absolutely.
Things. But it's not always happy, and sometimes we run into issues with estates and power of attorney and life-changing moments like that I have to be involved, or a real estate agent has to be involved, and I take that very seriously because there are a lot of moving parts, and people are usually really lost when it comes to an estate, and they're in charge of managing that estate and making sure that they fulfill their fiduciary responsibilities to the estate. So when I get called in on a property like that needs to be sold because somebody passed away, or somebody has to move to a nursing home, or lots of other issues where power of attorney is called in. So I figured we'd spend a little bit of time talking about that this morning because it is overwhelming.
Yeah,
no matter what the reason is for your move.
866-391-1020, Dollar Bank Instant Access, KDKRadio.com. You can text us on the right automotive line, best deal in town. Inventory in the city, unbelievable, huh?
Oh, it's moving. I see between the price points between 200 and 300 move really, really fast. And I have some clients I'm taking out tomorrow who are looking for the city because they work in the city and they want an easy commute to work. And one of the houses that was just listed on Thursday is already sold. So our list is getting a little shorter as the weekend goes on because these houses they're moving really rather quickly. So if you're out and about and looking to buy a house, you got to get out there and look at it as soon as you can. And the market is very competitive.
I had Councilman Corey O'Connor on my show Monday. talking about Pittsburgh living and why it's just skyrocketing. And he went through a whole laundry list of things, but people just want to walk out their door. And you know really what it is, Lauren? Pittsburgh is what we grew up with, the old neighborhoods that have really kind of sadly in a lot of places disappeared. So young people want that contact and being able to walk out and know the grocer, know the barber, know the hairstylist, know the restaurant owner.
I couldn't agree more. In these little towns that we all thought would never come back are back in full force and offering all of those things, the walkability, the neighborhoods, the neighbors, getting to know everybody. And I see people walk their dogs. I mean, there's I love dogs. Dog walking people everywhere.
Now, do you walk your dogs or do your dogs walk you?
My dogs drag me.
Mine always did too. And I have all these experts would go, well, you have to train them. But I always felt guilty kind of like trying to make, they want to run,
Right. Me too. No, they definitely, the two little ones walk me. Spike, he doesn't go far. He doesn't even need a leash. So
I've never had a dog that just you put a leash on it and it just
trots real nice.
Yeah. They're all pushing and struggling.
Yeah, mine.
They want to get up that hill.
They drag me all over the place. So yeah, I'm used to it.
But just imagine if you were a dog and you had that kind of ability and you were that strong.
Right.
When you get outside,
you were that happy.
Yeah, you want to run. You want to run. All right, I want to come back and get into some of this estate stuff. So if you have questions about the estate process, maybe you're going through it, you're going to be going through it, trying to set it up, power of attorney when it comes to real estate, getting that right appraisal on that estate, on your house, spring market, whatever it is. Hey, all 4 lines are available. This is a great opportunity to get free real estate advice from someone who has been doing it at a high level for many years, and she represents that great brand that is Coldwell Banker Murraysville. 412-628-8286, her number. Here it is, 866-391-1020. Call us now, 866-391-1020. Dollar Bank Instant Access, KDKRadio.com, and you can text us on the Red Automotive line, best deal in town. We'll be back.
So let me ask you, are you struggling with even the idea of selling your home? Or perhaps you're looking to buy your dream home, but you're not sure where to begin. If so, I want to share with you my 7-step process that has helped me sell over 100 homes a year right here in Pittsburgh. This process shows you how to negotiate the best possible price for your dream house or sell your house for the most amount of money in the least amount of time. Hi, Lauren here from Coldwell Banker Real Estate. You may have come across me on one of my shows, Talk Diva with the Pittsburgh Property Diva. When I got into this industry, all I wanted to do was help people find their dream home. Now, most people think the process can be really overwhelming, and it can be very stressful. Whether it's your first home or your 5th home, whether you want to build your dream house or move into an old Victorian, I tell my clients all the time, it's a big deal, and I totally get it. So, over the last 10 years, I've created a 7-step process that has helped hundreds of satisfied clients. I've even sold a house in less than 2 hours of it listing. I guess that's why they call me the Pittsburgh Property Diva. Now, I grew up in Pittsburgh. I watched my dad work a full-time job as a school teacher, and in his spare time, he was buying and selling homes, rehabbing them, and renting them out. He even built the home I grew up in, just reading manuals. Now, he only finished the house last year, but it's really solid. My dad always encouraged me to get into the real estate industry, but somehow I ended up with a master's degree in forensic science and law. I know, super nerdy, right? But eventually, I realized that real estate is where I belong. So if you're ready to raise your expectations for your real estate experience, I'd love to hear from you. Just click on the link below to download my Buyer or Seller Diva Kit. And you can also schedule some one-on-one time with me so that we can fulfill your dreams today.
Segment with him coming up in just a little bit. It's all about home improvement when it comes to budgeting, something we should all consider. But we have a phone call right now for the Pittsburgh property diva, Lauren Klein. And let's say hi to James. James, welcome to KDKA Radio. How are you?
Good morning, guys.
Hi, James.
Thank you for taking my call.
You're welcome.
Question on changing the title, owners' names on a house.
Uh-huh.
As we gracefully age, have 2 boys. I'm a widower, have a home. It's free and clear. Do I put the house in the kids' names or just let it where it is? My name. It's just still in my wife's name. She's on the deed also, but she's passed.
Okay, so there are a couple things you can do. If you have ever consulted an estate attorney or an estate planning attorney, they would guide you on how to set that up so that if something happens to you, it will pass straight to your children so that you can avoid some inheritance taxes. And I think when you get older and you're not going anywhere anytime soon, planning these things in advance makes it so much easier, and you do end up saving some money. So I would suggest consulting with a real estate lawyer about just doing a new deed with you on it and your 2 sons.
Okay. If my wife's name is still on the deed, that's okay.
That's okay. That's okay.
It's probably more groundwork.
It really, you just need a death certificate, and you could put the deed in your name and your son's name, and then you just have your recording fees plus the fee of the deed preparation. Okay.
Well, I'll have to talk to him on that one. Okay, ma'am. I appreciate you.
You're welcome. Have a good day.
All right, listen, we have a Dollar Bank Instant Access. I'm sure you can lead them in the right direction. Would you sell a house in Indiana, Pennsylvania?
I personally would not, but if the texter, it's a text, right? If he wants to call me, I have a lot of people do this. They hear me on the radio, and if I don't specialize in a certain area, I will find the best agent for you in that area. So you can always call me or send me a text at 412-628-8286. And if I can't help you, I will find somebody who can. That's what I do.
All right, let's talk about estates a little bit. Especially when you have, and Andy's got, 9 altogether siblings, and I've got 5. And thank goodness my sisters handled it. We'd still be cleaning the house out. My mother and dad had.
It can get really tricky.
It can.
It can. I went on an appointment a couple weeks ago, and there were, I think, 5 siblings. And just to get everybody gently on the same page, when somebody passes away, these decisions are never easy. It's always very stressful on top of being really sad. It takes a special touch, and you need to get in there, and you do need to be very gentle and understanding and patient, and try and just make a plan that works for everybody to get everybody on the same page.
Here's the issue that people have, and Andy, you can jump in here on this. You've been around this stuff long enough to know. When you start giving percentages to people, then a lot of people aren't happy, especially when there's not really a lot to go around.
Right.
And then you bring in other people that aren't family members. So what's your advice when it comes to dividing stuff up, getting rid of family heirlooms, and how to go about it? To me, the memory of my parents was enough. A few little trinkets here or there.
Right.
I didn't want a lot because obviously a picture or two goes a long way in my book, but I understand why people do want certain sentimental items. Have nothing to do with value. It's all about from the heart and memories of your parents or lost loved ones when you're getting rid of an estate. What's your thoughts about that?
Well, I think it's always nice when people are on the same page and they do want to be fair and have, give everybody an opportunity to have what is special to them. And beyond that, sometimes the volume of belongings is overwhelming and people don't know what to do with them. And sometimes an estate sale is a good thing to do, to just, have your family go in and take what they want and divide it up, the will decide who gets what in the grand scheme of things. But when it comes to personal belongings and things like that, if they haven't been assigned in the will to a certain person, then it's up to everybody to kind of just be gentle. And, if this means a lot to you, then you take it. And if this means a lot to you, you take it. After that process, an estate sale is usually what happens, where a company will come in, they'll tag everything, they'll have a house sale, and then they clean
Should people
out.
try to avoid that, in your opinion?
No.
Okay.
No, sometimes it's the best thing to do. It just really depends on how much time and energy all of these people involved have. Don't
So,
you think, Andy?
Andy?
I do. I mean, we've had in our family estate sales, and just like you described it, I mean, fortunately, most of the family members are on the same page.
Right.
I have been involved in some where they're not, and then it gets a little messy.
It does get a little tricky.
But sometimes I've been involved with ones, these not direct families, where the actual real estate agent, whether you want to consider yourself the good guy, the bad guy, or something, you're the judge. And the real estate agent has actually helped the family resolve some issues and have the estate sale and so forth to get it cleaned up. But going through that process of letting the family take what they want,
right,
within reason,
yes,
and then having the estate sale and the cash is part of the property that's divided up
right
from there. But also, a good attorney doesn't hurt either, I guess.
A good attorney never hurts. Well, you have your estate attorney who's going to, manage the estate portion of it. But when it comes to selling houses, then you have to bring a real estate agent in. And what I try to do is just get everybody on the same page with the same goals in mind.
Do you work with a specific real estate agent? Do you have?
You mean a real estate lawyer?
Or a lawyer? I mean,
I am a real estate
yes,
agent,
yes.
Andy.
I'm sorry. I mean, the attorney, the real estate attorney.
I
so,
do. I have.
yeah.
I have two
Have
in
you
my
been asked
area.
to bring those in on occasions and so forth?
No,
or
actually, they're the ones who usually call me.
call you?
Yes.
Okay.
They're usually the ones that call me or the family members.
Yeah. Do you generally put a time frame on when you're bringing in an estate sale? Or?
Well, what I like to do is
Because I mean, there's some family members that I want this resolved next week.
right, and there
just
are
give me the
some
money
who
and
say
let me go out.
right, and there are some who say I want this resolved by next year.
Okay.
So getting everybody on
Wow,
the
that's
same
long.
page is sometimes not easy, but the experiences that I've had, they really do look to me to make a plan,
Right.
a plan of action that everybody can lean into, and it, work for everybody to just get that house sold.
In your clients, aren't clients, but people you work with, do you have people that'll do the estate sales?
We do. We
Okay.
do. We actually have a really nice
One-stop shop then. You can
concierge
handle everything,
service.
right?
Yes. And they do help a lot with organizing estate sales, moving, all of those things that, we try and keep it cohesive so that you have
Keep
a good plan.
the process moving.
Right.
How about when the estate sale's over and there's still stuff left?
Typically, I want an estate sale company that does a full clean out service.
So they'll do the clean out afterwards?
After whatever's left over, they donate. They might take it to an auction house. Sometimes they throw it away, just depending on what it is. But I do like that whole clean out service afterwards. And then I'm going to call in a cleaning company to do a clean.
What do you find is the hardest part, though, coming into a family with many siblings and doesn't have any of this laid out? What part of the process is the hardest for you and your clients?
I don't know if I would consider it hard. I think sometimes the challenge is grief.
Okay, going through the emotions.
Yes. And I try to be really, really sensitive about that because I know how I would want to be treated if I was really sad and I had to make all these big decisions. So I think patience and gentle.
I know. You see, he has all the answers.
Right?
Don't you just love Andy? Listen, when they get to my house, whoever gets the shoebox, it's over. Thank you very much. Here's the shoebox. That's all he's got.
Then you won't need me for
No.
that.
That'll be real easy. We'll put it right on the front porch. Hey, listen, when we come back, we're going to let Andy jump back in here. He's going to talk about doing some home improvements when it comes to doing it on a budget. He's all about that. And she, of course, is the Pittsburgh property diva. Listen, if you haven't, we obviously got a little action on this whole estates thing. So if you have a question you want to talk to her, especially when it comes to power of attorney and real estate, you can call us now, 866-391-1020. Dollar Bank, Instant Access, KDKRadio.com. You can text us on the Red Automotive Line, best deal in town. You know, a lot of folks getting ready to put their home up for a spring market, and they're wondering about appraisal. How do they get the biggest bang for their buck, knowing they're actually going to get fair market value? She's going to talk about that as well, too. And why the inventory continues to boom in and around the city of Pittsburgh, places like Lawrenceville, Mexican War Street, all of this stuff, downtown, the Heinz Cork Factory. We're going to discuss that and why this time of year is such a busy time when it comes to the real estate market. So if you have a question, I highly urge you to pick up the phone and give us a call. It is 866-391-1020. Dollar Bank, Instant Access, KDKRadio.com. And you can text us on the Red Automotive Line, the best deal in town. Melinda Roeder, live and local news. 2 minutes away, Rob Pratt Saturday, KDKA Radio.
So let me ask you, are you struggling with even the idea of selling your home? Or perhaps you're looking to buy your dream home, but you're not sure where to begin. If so, I want to share with you my 7-step process that has helped me sell over 100 homes a year right here in Pittsburgh. This process shows you how to negotiate the best possible price for your dream house or sell your house for the most amount of money in the least amount of time. Hi, Lauren here from Coldwell Banker Real Estate. You may have come across me on one of my shows, Talk Diva with the Pittsburgh Property Diva. When I got into this industry, all I wanted to do was help people find their dream home. Now, most people think the process can be really overwhelming, and it can be very stressful. Whether it's your first home or your 5th home, whether you want to build your dream house or move into an old Victorian, I tell my clients all the time, it's a big deal, and I totally get it. So, over the last 10 years, I've created a 7-step process that has helped hundreds of satisfied clients. I've even sold a house in less than 2 hours of it listing. I guess that's why they call me the Pittsburgh Property Diva. Now, I grew up in Pittsburgh. I watched my dad work a full-time job as a school teacher, and in his spare time, he was buying and selling homes, rehabbing them, and renting them out. He even built the home I grew up in, just reading manuals. Now, he only finished the house last year, but it's really solid. My dad always encouraged me to get into the real estate industry, but somehow I ended up with a master's degree in forensic science and law. I know, super nerdy, right? But eventually, I realized that real estate is where I belong. So if you're ready to raise your expectations for your real estate experience, I'd love to hear from you. Just click on the link below to download my Buyer or Seller Diva Kit. And you can also schedule some one-on-one time with me so that we can fulfill your dreams today.
Hey, my day is today. Are you going my way until the rising sun?
The following is paid for by Property Divas, LLC.
These are the people who make Pittsburgh work. This is Pittsburgh Works on KDKA Radio.
All right, give them your number, Lauren Klein, because last week I almost gave out my mobile number. And I'm like, nobody
You don't
wants to
wanna
talk
do
to
that.
me because I never get any calls. Anyway, give them your number.
It's 412-628-8286.
All right, sounds good. Hey, Andy is in studio with us a little earlier. Home improvements on a budget, that's still to come on the program. But right now, let's go to Cranberry and say hi to Frank for the Pittsburgh Property Diva, Lauren Klein, KDKA Radio. Hey, Frank, how are you?
Rob, how are you, sir? Good, thank you.
You're welcome.
I just wanted to ask a question. My mother passed away a couple of years ago, and everybody kept telling me, well, there's myself and my 2 sisters.
Okay.
Nevertheless, everybody kept telling us, you got to get an attorney, you got to get an attorney. So we start researching attorneys, and they all obviously want a percentage of the estate, which is like thousands of dollars.
Right.
Anyway, I thought, well, let me look into this and see, and, what it all involves. So believe it or not, I started watching a lot of YouTube videos, and a lot of the attorneys on the YouTube videos were like, you could do this yourself.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, there's nothing that you would need an attorney for. You'll save thousands of dollars.
A lot of people do it themselves.
So, yeah, I did. I did it myself. I mean, my sisters and I are very close, so that we weren't contesting the will.
Good.
And they didn't have a lot of other property. What you do need, I find, is a good accountant.
Okay, yes, for your inheritance taxes.
Pay the inheritance taxes. Other than that, that was it. Now, my mother was from Beaver County, so we'd go down, to the courthouse. They weren't real happy about it because they want an attorney to do it for you, so I guess it eliminates their work. But anyway, long story short, it's not that difficult at all, and you save thousands of dollars.
Yes, and some people are really good at it, and other people just don't have the headspace for it. They're too overwhelmed, and they'd rather have somebody else handle it. So I guess it's just a personal preference, and what works
if I
best.
Could ask you one quick question.
Sure.
My wife and I are looking to buy a very small home in Florida for some of the winter months here in Pittsburgh. How do I find a good real estate agent, somebody that I can trust in Florida? I know nobody down there.
Okay. So after the show, Frank, send me a text message, and I'll hook you up with a colleague in Florida. I just need to know what part of Florida you're looking in, and I'll find the best agent in that area for you.
Oh, great.
Okay.
Great. I appreciate it. Thank you so much.
You bet. Have a good day.
Bye-bye now.
Bye.
Thank you, too.
All right, let's talk appraisal, and then we're going to take a break and get Andy in here for the final segment.
Okay.
So how do you know you're getting the biggest bang for your buck? Do you know?
Well, you don't, okay? Because at the end of the day, I could come in and give you a range from this number to this number on what your house is valued at based on the comps, based on my experience, based on the overall condition and square footage and location of the property. The bank has the final say on what that property is valued at. So the buyer could come in and you have the house listed at, let's just say $250,000. So we listed at $250,000, and the buyer comes in and says, "Oh, I love this house. It's worth $250,000 to me. I'll pay $250,000." The appraiser comes in and does their own independent appraisal, bank ordered, and they say, "Well, the house is only worth $242,000." So I always hold my breath on appraisal. As hard as I try to narrow everything down and take a global look at where the property is and what kind of shape it's in and the improvements that have been made, the bank has the final say. So in preparation for the appraisal, unless you have a cash buyer who's not doing an appraisal, you want the house in the best shape it's ever been in. So get ready for like your biggest showing ever when the appraiser comes. And there I have on my website under the, I think it's under the seller tab on PittsburghPropertyDiva.com. Be prepared for your appraisal. It's a one-page printout that I wrote to guide the seller through what happens at the appraisal. And the buyer also needs to know that when you put a value on a house and you agree to pay for it, the bank decides what that house is actually worth. So that to me is, that's the last piece of the puzzle. By then, I'm all through inspections.
Go ahead, Andy. Jump in here because you've dealt business like this many times.
I
see you over there too, getting real fussy, looking.
I have a hard time where the entire transaction rests on one individual's opinion.
Yeah,
I just do, and I've battled, if you want to say, appraisals like that.
You're not alone.
I just disagree with the whole process. With everything, you got months into a project of selling a house, the owner, the buyers, the whole bit, and it rests on one individual. And I'm assuming that you can appeal and change.
The buyer can appeal.
Okay.
The seller cannot.
The seller cannot.
Right. So if you're the buyer and you disagree with the appraiser and you say, I'd like a reconsideration, here's some other comps I'd like you to consider in your valuation, they can say no. Yeah. And most of the time they do. They say, hey, thanks for your comps, thanks for your phone call, your opinion, whatever, but no, I'm not changing it.
Wow.
Yeah. So it does cause some stress.
I'm glad you're on that side and I'm on the other side.
Well, that's like assessments too. I mean, I've gone over and around with these assessments, these drive-by assessments, and how it can really just 40 years of sweat equity.
Up.
Yeah,
it really does. It jams up their money. It jams up their time.
Well, guess what we're going to do after the break? We're going to teach how to fix up your home and save money at the same time.
There you go. That's a good idea.
Where was he 30 years ago?
Right.
All right, 866-391-1020. Dollar Bank, Instant Access, KDKRadio.com. Text us on the Red Automotive Line, best deal in town. The great Andy Amrine and Lauren Klein, Pittsburgh Property Diva. Next, KDK Radio. Stay with us.
Thomas Rhett, Dirk Spindley, Florida Georgia Line, Rascal Flatts, Chris Young, Jason Aldean. All live at KeyBank Pavilion. Tickets on sale now at megaticket.com.
Hi, this is Les Botkin of Botkin Family Wealth Management. We're headquartered in Peters Township, and I'm excited to tell you that we now have an office in Ligonier, a town in the Pennsylvania mountains that holds a special place in my heart. My wife Barb and I met when we were just 14, and her family had a home in Ligonier. Together, we'd roam the Diamond, stroll through the quaint shops, and hike through woods, as we still do. It's our home away from home and where our family gathers. Along with my daughter Sarah and son Lester, we've designed our private investment firm to feel like home too, to make you feel comfortable and at ease while discussing important financial decisions. Sarah and I are certified financial planners, and Lester is a chartered financial analyst. Our firm's combination of credentials and comfort is valued by our clients. Botkin Family Wealth Management, with offices in the South Hills and now in Ligonier. Visit us at botkinfamilywealth.com.
Securities offered through LPL Financial, member FINRA SIPC. What are you giving up for Lent? Catholic Charities of Pittsburgh asks you to consider how your Lenten sacrifice of just $1 a day can make a difference in the life of someone in need. Join the Good Works Here Challenge and help provide assistance to those who struggle every day for the basic necessities we often take for granted. A warm place out of the frigid temperatures, a safe place to sleep, food, access to medical and dental care, and more. Share your instead that will turn your Lenten sacrifice into a blessing. Go to ccpgh.org to get started. That's ccpgh.org.
SchultzFord.com, 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 SchultzFord.com.
These are the people who make Pittsburgh work. This is Pittsburgh Works on KDKA Radio.
It surely does work when you're dealing real estate with Coldwell Banker and Lauren Klein, who happens to be the host of this broadcast, Pittsburgh Property Diva. And it's like the old days. Andy used to show up in my show all the time 20 years ago, and he showed up today, and it's a great opportunity for you to find out everything that you need to know when it comes to home improvement on a budget. So here they are, ladies and gentlemen. She's into real estate, and he makes sure that that real estate you buy stays looking good. It's Mr. True Value, Andy Amrine, and Lauren Klein of Coldwell Banker, Murraysville. Lauren.
Thanks, Andy, for coming in
My
early
pleasure.
this morning.
I love your show.
Thank
I
you.
listen every week that you're on, and it's a pleasure to be here.
Thank you.
I just love to sit and chat.
Yes, it's always a good time. When I meet with people, I usually have a little punch list of to-dos that I I want them to do that I think make a huge difference when they're listing their home.
Okay.
And also my new buyers, when they move into a home, they of course want to make it their own. Okay.
Sure.
And the cheapest way I think to change the look of a home is with paint.
Absolutely.
Would you agree with me?
Number one.
Number one.
Okay.
Okay.
Paint is easy.
Paint
And
is easy. And when people walk into a house, buyers, they go, ooh, I don't like that color. That's really easy to fix.
I mean, you don't like to walk in a house and see red bedrooms and stuff like that?
Right. Well, hey, different strokes for different folks.
Absolutely.
But when I am listing a property and I really like to neutralize property just to kind of give it that blank canvas and for the buyer coming in saying, ooh, I can really picture myself here. So paint, I always, if it needs painted, that's always my first suggestion. And then, kitchens and bathrooms
They're huge.
They're biggest sellers. But there's also some really effective tools to update, like lighting. Would you agree?
Lighting is everything. When we do a project itself, paint and lighting can change the entire appearance of a room.
Yes.
And in paint, it's not just bedroom, living room painting. I mean, it's kitchen painting, it's bathroom painting, and there's different sheens for different rooms to get different durabilities and so forth out of it. But the lighting itself is critical for it. You can change the paint, but if the lighting is terrible for the room, it's not going to show off the paint. And there's in the world of LED now, I mean, I'm a huge fan of LED because in LED you can get I call it a Kelvin rating. It's the color rating of a light bulb, and you can get a light bulb in a different color Kelvin rating to do what you want. I'm talking cool white, warm white, daylight, and you change that light bulb, even just a 99-cent light bulb, it'll change the overall appearance of the room.
See,
it's lighting
something new every day.
Absolutely huge. And if you think of it, do they use the same color light bulbs in a grocery store as they do a funeral home?
No,
they don't.
That's a really good point.
And so you can get a light bulb. You don't even have to change the fixture. You could get the light bulb to change the overall warmth, look, and appearance of a room.
I really like that.
No.
And lighting fixtures.
And lighting fixtures itself.
Yeah,
the lighting fixtures have really come down in price.
Right. I don't think they're very expensive, and you can do quite a bit.
You can do a lot with it. And whether it's an open globe fixture, a drum type fixture, the fixtures you saw in your great grandma's house, and so forth. I mean, you go into an older home and you think back, Lauren, the light fixtures that your grandma and great grandmother had in their house compared to where they are now with the stainless steel look or the brushed nickel or the bronze look and so forth. And a lot of these fixtures, you're talking $50, $60 for a light fixture, which is nothing in the scheme of it when you're talking a $200,000-$400,000 house.
Right.
Lighting is very easy to do. I mean, I'm not afraid of electricity, so for me to get on a ladder and take a fixture down and put it up, it's simple.
I am afraid of electricity.
It can just curl your hair a little bit. But getting an electrician to come in to change a fixture, you're maybe talking $50 to $100, depending on how much space and ladders and so forth he needs to do for it. But paint and lighting is absolutely everything to the appearance of any room, whether it's a kitchen, bathroom, anything.
So I went on a listing appointment. It was an expired listing a couple weeks ago.
Okay.
And I went in and I had the seller make some very, very minor adjustments to the property that had been sitting on the market for 6 months.
Okay.
And one of them was I had him paint the front door.
Okay.
From white, and it was kind of, I don't know, it was just not, it was real dull, and it was
dull and dirty.
Dull and dirty. So I had him change it to indigo blue.
Very nice.
Okay.
Pretty color.
Make some little adjustments in the house.
Stands
Give
out.
it a good clean. Put it on the market, and I sold it in one day.
Perfect.
One day.
The best gallon of paint he ever bought, wasn't it?
See there?
No.
It's little stuff. Now, the other thing I like on a budget, if you can't afford to remodel the whole kitchen, what do you think about doing a backsplash?
Absolutely. Now, and backsplashes could be a lot of different things. From doing it in, ceramic towel, different towel between doing it in sheet or doing it in glass. Imagio is a company out of Detroit that we're using a lot more on property where you can go groutless. And they have a glass backsplash that is just absolutely to die for. I mean, it is just absolutely gorgeous. But a backsplash itself, more than even painting the cabinets, the backsplash stands off the whole kitchen.
Right.
It's what your eye is drawn to when you walk in. So you could have an older cabinet, but if you've updated that backsplash, the new buyer, all they're going to see is the backsplash itself.
Right. Kind of detracts from other things.
It takes their eye contact off of everything else.
Right.
So, yes, I agree 100% that the backsplash is critical.
Let's move to the bathroom because I know we only have a couple minutes left. But vanities. When people switch out a vanity, to me, I think it makes a huge difference. And I don't think overall installation and a new vanity are super expensive.
If you're having a plumber or somebody install it, taking out an old one, putting in a new one, you're talking maybe $1,000.
Okay.
It's a very realistic budget, and it's a pretty simple budget.
Including the vanity.
Oh, the vanity and the install on it.
Yeah.
It's a very easy job.
Okay.
It absolutely is a very easy job. And a vanity, and going right next door to that vanity is the toilet.
Right.
And a old, dirty, marked up toilet, changing that also for the extra.
And how much is a new toilet?
$200 to $300 depending on the style of toilet you get. But you do those two things, your whole bathroom is updated.
Yeah.
It's huge.
I think it's worth it.
Yep. 100%.
Thanks a million for coming in.
Absolutely. My pleasure.
Appreciate you. Appreciate you too, Rob.
He's really good.
She's really good.
Oh, you're both good. You're both
I'll do
good.
a show anytime with her.
Good stuff. All right, Martha Stewart, eat your heart out.
Right?
All right, I was trying to think of her name. That's why I said she. All right, listen. Hey, guys, always a pleasure. Thank you.
Thank you. My pleasure.
See you in a couple of hours.
Absolutely.
Or about an hour. That's
about
it.
an hour.
That's
about
right.
an hour. I'll stick
now
around.
It's MediConnect, the Senior Zone with Joe Randazzo.
You need me to do that show too?
No, I think I can handle that one. But you should do the Home Improvement Show if you can hang around.
Okay.
I never was good with a paintbrush. All right, listen, we got a lot more still to come today. We're with you till 3 o'clock this afternoon. We've got AAA Central's Talking Travel, Marita Williams, more open talk in the noon hour. Get Well Naturally, Dr. Joseph Hahnemann, Weiner Wellness Center. And then the Raja Show welcomes Jason Wolf. What an amazing entrepreneurial story you don't want to miss. Stay with us.
The preceding